Hey everybody, it's Zach here, and just going to do a little bit of a different video for you guys. Today we're going to be doing a cooking video. I'm going to be showing you guys how I make cornbread. So we're going to be using some moss, self-rising yellow cornmeal. This stuff here is actually made in Kittrell, North Carolina. It's you really can't find it everywhere. It's very, very good. It's the old-fashioned style. It's not really mass produced. This stuff is great. If you can find it, get it. You're also going to need some self-rising flour, just some sugar. Then for liquid ingredients, we will need eggs, buttermilk, cooking oil. You will need a 1 cup, a 1/2 cup, and a 1/4 cup measuring cups. You will need some form of a vessel to mix your eggs in separately. Then you need a mixing bowl to mix all the ingredients together. You also need something to mix that together with. And last but not least, you need something to put it in. I'm going to be using these little loaf pans here. Makes a great little loaf of cornbread. You can pop it in the toaster oven if you want. You don't even have to heat up your regular oven. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. It works great. And so let's get started. Okay folks, so the first thing we need to do is we need to get out 1½ cups of the cornmeal. And you can see it's got this metal tile here. This thing is pretty tricky to get off, so I'm just going to use the screwdriver bit on my Swiss Army knife here to get that open, okay? Okay folks, it's worth noting I'm using the instructions here that's on the back of the cornmeal package. I have used this many times. This recipe is great. Now, this recipe also works with non-moss brand cornmeal, and it's going to taste very similar. This here is just a really well-made cornmeal. So we've got our 1½ cups. We're going to take these right here, and we're going to just put those over into our mixing bowl, just like that. And now, on to the next dry ingredient, which would be a 1/2 cup of self-rising flour. Okay folks, so I've got our 1/2 cup of self-rising flour here. Now you may notice I try to always even that out, make that flat across there. I always really like to have very precise measurements. I find that it gives a much better tasting item if you have it precisely measured and or weighed. A lot of times I'll actually weigh this out and do it by weight, not by volume, since different items have different weights. And hey, maybe that'll be another video. So we're going to put that in here, in with the cornmeal. Right now we just want to put all of our dry ingredients together. Okay folks, so I've got our 1/4 cup sugar here, and I'm just going to put that right into our mixing bowl with our cornmeal and our flour. And now we're going to take a look back here at our recipe, and we need to get at this point, after I've combined all the dry ingredients, I like to start getting my liquid items. So first I'd like to get my eggs. I'm going to crack those into a separate container, beat them before I ever put it into the mix, because I find that it actually gives the mix a better flavor and taste, and it's a smoother and better consistency. Okay folks, so I have cracked 2 eggs into another vessel here. This is for 2 reasons. 1, I like to beat the eggs before I apply it to the dry mixture. Also 2, if you are unfortunate enough to say get any eggshells or anything in, you can get those out here before it's in your mix and you can't see it. So right now we're just going to whisk these up. I'm just using a regular spoon here, nothing fancy. Cornbread is not a fancy dish. It's been around ages. A very traditional southern dish. Okay folks, the next thing is we need to have 1 cup of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, regular milk will work. Buttermilk just makes it taste a lot better. So we're just going to fill that up right there to 1 cup. Don't want to spill any. And now we're going to get our oil out. Okay folks, so the next thing, the recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of cooking oil or shortening. I've got cooking oil, so that's what we're going to be using. So I'm just going to fill this 1/4 cup up right there. Okay, now before we do anything else, the next thing I want to do is I always prefer to combine all of the dry ingredients together. So I'm just going to just kind of mix them up, just because you want to have a pretty well mixed blend here. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to mix it up once our liquid ingredients get in here. That looks pretty good. Okay, so we're just going to create a little hole there. Now the next thing we're going to do is we are actually going to add our 1 cup of buttermilk. So we're going to pour that in. Yeah. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to stir this together. We're just trying to combine items as we go. It's not going to cover everything, but that's okay. We're just trying to get some of this folded in. And this would be a little bit easier if I wasn't holding my camera and trying to stir this at the same time. I couldn't find my my tripod tonight. I do apologize. I do apologize if it's a little bit shaky or something, but there we go. This is, like I said in the beginning, this is a different type video. Something probably won't do that often, but hey, you never know. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the 1/4 cup oil in. Just like that. And I'm going to take the spoon out of the eggs because I still have that in there. And on this time, I'm actually going to go ahead and combine my eggs in with the oil. Just like that. Make sure we get all of it out. There we go. There we go, guys. And now the next thing is just stir all this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video right here. And then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like once everything's stirred up. Okay, here we go. After I have stirred it all up, you can see it's got a pretty thick consistency here. Everything is well mixed. You don't see any differences of shade. You want to make sure everything's the same golden yellow color. And now the next thing we want to do is we're going to prep one of our loaf pans. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take just about a teaspoon of our cooking oil, and we're going to rub that all on the inside here to basically make this non-stick. Okay, folks, the next thing we need to do is we need to turn on our toaster oven to 350 degrees. We're going to preheat that for a little bit. Okay, there you guys have it. I have put the batter into the loaf pan. Next thing that we have to do is just put that into the toaster oven, and the times are going to vary a little bit. You know, the directions say for 20 to 30 minutes or until brown on top. I always like to stick a knife down in the very center just to make sure there's no undone center in there, uncooked center. So we will wait for the toaster oven to finish heating up, then we'll put this in. Okay, folks, the last step of cooking it is actually putting it into the oven. In my case, toaster oven. Be very cautious. This thing is hot, because remember we preheated at 350 degrees. I'll show you guys what the final product looks like once it's done. Right, here's the final product. You can see nicely golden brown. I just took it out, flipped the plate over on top of the loaf pan, and then just, you know, give it a quick flip, got it out. It's actually the second one. I did cut this one just so I can make sure it was done, which it was. Got it on some wax paper to cool. We're going to do that, then we're going to put it inside of some Ziploc bags or how you want to store it, and then enjoy. Thanks for watching. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share it with your friends. And also, if you try this recipe, be sure to leave a comment down in the description below. Let me know how you guys liked it. See you later, guys.